We are live at Hurricanes at the Garden, getting you ready for Four Nations Face-Off Final. We were here Monday, now we're back for USA-Canada Round 2. We're brought to you by Bauer. Head to their sales page and use code FREESHIP. Bauer.com, click sale, shop away.
Free Ship WC.
What's that?
Free Ship WC.
Free Ship WC. And we are at an absolutely packed Hurricanes. It was packed on Monday, but now it's really crazy. Got a lot of people here for USA. Who's here for USA? Who's here for Canada? Who's here to just hear some national anthems? All right, Pete Blackburn's here. Sean DePaz is here. I'm DJ Bean. Pete, we talked about today on the show, this is the most important game we've seen in a non-NHL setting in an absolute bajillion years.
Yeah, I mean, my stomach has been dancing all day long. I'm very, very, very nervous, very, very excited. This is the most meaningful, meaningless game that's ever been played in sports history, I think.
Now, Sean made the point. You do get medals if you win, correct?
That is true, you do.
There is also a trophy.
There's a trophy and you get medals if you win. So I don't think you can tell anybody here that this isn't a big game. And with how players have played, they are absolutely going to go balls to the wall. Absolutely cannot wait. We are just, 2.5 hours away from the 20-minute bullshit thing they give you where they say it's game time now, but really we're going to drop the puck in forever. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. And if you're standing around here at Hurricanes and want to know what we're about, pick up one of these little white chaos cards, and that will tell you everything. Pete, they had a round-robin matchup on Saturday, and it was the best hockey game we've seen in forever. USA won 3-1. Canada hung in there. It was really, goaltending was a big difference. And now tonight, Canada comes more healthy than the United States because they have Cale Makar. They did not in that Saturday game. Charlie McAvoy was an absolute menace for the United States in that Saturday game. He's not available tonight. So health is swinging in favor of Canada, but it's in Boston. It's at home. And I'll say that the United States is due to win one of these international ones. Of what age and older, I would say.
Outside of
like
what age?
Grown up.
Yeah. I mean,
the grown-ups could use this.
They are definitely due, and I think that what you saw on Saturday was a statement that they're here and that this era and this new generation is it's upon us, and they're not fucking around. Like, they are here, and whether or not this tournament means anything in terms of merit and legacy or whatever, this is going to matter to them, and the intensity level was crazy on Saturday. I expect the same thing tonight.
Yeah, man, that Canada game on Saturday between the United States and Canada in the round robin, obviously it was 3-1. I felt good as a USA fan really the entire way, but the difference in the game was bad goaltending from Jordan Binnington. He has played here before and played very, very well. If he was above average on Saturday, Canada would have hung in that game a lot more tightly. You wouldn't have had the opportunity for the empty netter that really might have been offsides. Anyway, I am expecting the closest of close games tonight. I don't know if it's going to be high scoring, low scoring, but I know that this is going to be a balls-to-the-wall, nail-biter type of experience.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Jordan Binnington, and I said this earlier this week. I stand by it. I'll double down. If I have to watch Jordan Binnington steal a championship away from my favorite team in this building for the second time in 6 years, he's a terrorist to me. He is a terrorist to me, and I wish nothing but the worst for him for the rest of his life.
Are you surprised at all that Canada is sticking with Jordan Binnington? Because he was not good in the USA game. He then had a real, I don't know what you want to call it. Canada was not good in front of the net in the final minutes of that game against Finland. But damn, you allow 3 goals in the final 6-ish minutes of the game when you are up 4-0. my goodness, I know that Jordan Binnington is a psycho and that he always has confidence and he always believes in himself, but he is coming off of 2 straight games where he should hit the dressing room after being like, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, but if there was ever a time to go away from him, it was last game, not this game. Like, there's no surprise that he's their guy in the winner-take-all based off of what we've seen. I feel very good about it as an American that he's the guy who's getting the start.
The chat is spreading rumors about celebrities dying. Sean, can you check the thing that somebody just said about a beloved celebrity?
I am checking right now.
Okay. That is now, let's see. That's terrible behavior, everybody.
Yeah, I hate that.
Okay. Well, on the other end, you have Connor Hellebuck, who stopped 25 of 26 shots in that game on Saturday. The only goal he allowed was Connor McDavid being an absolute freak, and that's just going to happen from time to time. We're going to talk about legacy stuff with a lot of these guys. Hellebuck is somebody who last postseason kind of shriveled, and it was very surprising to a lot of us. He has been maybe the best player in this entire tournament to this point.
He's up there. I mean, definitely up there. He also, you mentioned last postseason. It's the last couple postseasons. He hasn't been the up to the standard that he was during the regular season. So I think this matters a lot for Connor Hellebuck. And if you're a Jets fan and sort of the confidence that you might have in him heading into when the lights are the brightest. Like, you know that he's an unbelievable goaltender during the regular season. And I don't really doubt his ability to show up in big games, but you do want to see it at the biggest stage and when the lights are the brightest tonight.
Sean, if you could do me a favor, just check the levels chat saying something about audio. I'm hearing everybody clearly, and I don't think any of us sound overmodulated, but maybe we are. We will effort that. As I said, the big variables today, USA at home, USA without McAvoy, Canada with Makar, Canada healthier. You got Tage Thompson and Brett Pesce seemingly still hanging around. Be amazing if Tage just stopped by, if everybody was healthy, and you've got the goaltending thing. So those are the things that we're going to be discussing, we're going to be looking at. Something we talked about earlier in the week, will there be fights tonight?
I don't think so. I wouldn't be shocked if there was like one, but I also don't think that that's anything that any of these players are pre-planning heading into this game, because I can't imagine that they're going to want to take themselves out of the game for 5 minutes.
Did you see what JT Miller said about the group text?
No.
He said he was upset that their group chat was divulged in the media.
Who cares?
It seems like he's taking a light, or just doing a light eye rolling at 2 beloved American players whom I would never besmirch. And I saw a lot of discourse after saying that guy cannot be on a team for 5 minutes without forming some sort of enemies.
Famously, this is a podcast that leaks group chats and confidential information.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with it.
I want fights tonight. I'm not a fighting guy. I want fights. I want to fight right off the rip. I want to fight 2 seconds later. I want to fight 7 seconds later. They could repeat the fights with the same exact people that did it on Saturday, showing that it's the most staged thing ever, and I would still be on the edge of my seat. I would be absolutely into it, because everybody has made it clear that they care so much more about this than anybody could have thought. And it was merely, I don't know, a week and a day ago that we still didn't know, quote unquote, how hard players were going to try. I've never seen anybody care about anything more than the players care about this game.
Yeah, and I think that you also have to recognize that there are going to be so many more people watching this game tonight based off of what happened on Saturday. And I saw, like, Kirk Herbstreit is tweeting that, like, this is the most excited he's been for a non-football event in his life. Like, when you hit that level of eyeballs to your sport, I think there is sort of like a nudge to put on a show. And they did that on Saturday. Maybe they do it again tonight, but I'm just hoping that the product lives up to what Saturday provided. Like, I just want a fucking awesome game.
I can't see it being a boring game. I see Katie Nolan in the chat. What up, Katie?
Hey.
What if it is a 2011 Boston-Tampa 0-0 the entire way type of game, and then in the final 10 minutes, shit finally goes down?
I mean, like, hockey fans, I think, would enjoy that. I think a lot of hockey fans recognize that game is one of the, like, cleanest and most perfect games ever played. I do think when you're talking about like new fans tuning in, you want high event hockey. You want a lot of shit going down. You want goals. You want fights. You want hits. All that kind of stuff. So I hope that you get a high event game. But if you get a Bruins Tampa Bay Lightning game from that Game 7, I will take that every goddamn day.
I'm gonna end up being proven wrong. I can't see a scenario in which this game isn't incredible or in some way, shape, or form, because most games in this tournament, and there have only been, we tried to do the math, what have there been, 7 games played? 5, 6, 7 games? Something like that? 6 games?
Yeah.
Most of them have been awesome.
Yeah.
Like the Canada, Finland, or Canada, Sweden.
Yeah, very good.
Awesome to kick it off.
I mean, every game basically except the final day where you had Canada and Finland and then the U.S. playing against Sweden in a game that they seem to not really care that much about.
But Canada-Finland ended up ruling.
Yeah, for like 15 seconds.
I did see when you were at the game the other day and someone was on their phone and he was like, I'm in both of these games. Both games stunk today. I went to the first one and like Canada just won by 1 million. I was like, damn, that guy left early. And he has no idea that he almost saw the craziest shit in the world. We do know who is singing the national anthem, and the answer was, what are you dressed up like?
Just a revolutionary.
Revolutionary.
It's a blue jacket. It's a Columbus blue jacket.
Sir, are you from Columbus? Stolen Valor? Boston. They did the T thing, correct? T. I gotcha. All right, we have somebody dressed like Lady Liberty as well. Just a real
This is
scene.
electric.
Yes.
The crowd here at Hurricanes is electric. It very much feels like some nervous energy, but everybody is very, very excited.
I'll say this entire Hurricanes experience, dating back to Monday, has been tremendous jersey watching.
Oh, yeah.
And you're seeing a lot of 1980 jerseys. You see a lot of players who are on the team, their NHL jerseys. I'm seeing a Maple Leafs, Auston Matthews jersey. How wild is it that can be worn in here and nobody's getting mad? Although, quite frankly, I don't.
He said it should be a crime.
I'm not going to point to the person. I want everybody to be on their best behavior. But, brother, I gotcha. Jack Eichel. There you go right there. The jersey watching's amazing. The behavior is amazing. Canadians and Americans coexisting, except for the nice gentleman who just yelled that the Canadian guy should be in jail. But honestly,
table of Swedes over there.
We have a table of Swedes.
Happy to be here.
And my assumption is they just got tickets for the final, and unfortunately their team didn't make it. But they're like, "What am I not going to go to this now that these maniacs are playing each other? I want to go see that." Shout out to everyone who's actually making their way to the game. A lot of people are just here because they want to be near the building, and I respect the hell out of that. Let's do a little. I teased who is singing the national anthem. I'll give it to you. Nobody. The crowd might be singing the national anthem. It is going to be performed by the Boston Pops. That's right. Keith Lockhart in the game. What's up, Matt McCarthy? Keith Lockhart in the game. Gang will be in the building performing the national anthem. I have some questions off that, but first I'll note, how do you feel about Todd Angeli being bumped?
No disrespect to Todd Angeli. This is you got to have like a real special guest for the anthem tonight.
That is all due respect to Todd Angeli, on a stage this big, that is a bumpable performer.
Yes, 100%.
It is a Boston guy, and this is an American game.
Oh,
like you need a national. You need something with no disrespect. You need something.
I mean, that had a little disrespect. It had a stink of disrespect
well,
when he said he's a Boston guy. It's a national game.
No one outside of Boston is going to know who he is.
Do people outside of Boston know who the Pops are?
Probably not.
But
you can put two and two together, though. You're like, that's how it sounds like an orchestra.
Yeah, and like you said, if it's an orchestra, it's probably going to be the people singing.
I still think they should have had Jordan Binnington's ex-girlfriend sing the national anthem just to get in his head. But
rude behavior. Now, my question with the Pops performing the anthem is, pardon my ignorance, maybe some of the Boston folk around here can answer this for me. How many Pops are there? You putting a lot of Pops on the ice? Like
I have no idea.
I've seen like 10 people sing the anthem when it's children, and that they can just fit into a small space. Anyone know? Do you know how many Pops there are? How many Boston Pops? This guy doesn't know either. Do you know how many Boston Pops there are?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Under. We're going to guess this is going to be a prize picks thing. More or less than. Sean, could you effort how many members?
Yeah, I'm trying to. But you could do kind of a Chicago thing where you spread them out You have like the trumpet players up in the 300s,
Oh.
just all over the stadium.
Not
A
bad.
surround sound pops.
Yes.
Pops
Still
everywhere.
won't be the most famous pops in the building because Keith Kachuk will be in the building.
That's right. If Keith Kachuk is in the building,
Most
then
famous
he
pops.
is the most famous pops by far.
That's right.
Although, famously, some of the players in this game are parents.
It's true.
So they're famous as well.
Sex havers.
Yeah, let's see. Let's
Bunch of
rank,
sex havers on the ice.
let's rank the popularity of the players in this game who have children. We will be doing a ranking of players coming up in a little bit. But, Chad, if you could tell me how many pops there are, we would love that. The chat is being very, very nice. Someone says that Ray Ferraro's fingerprints are all over having Todd Angeli removed. Vibes seem immaculate. They are. J-Dog says, America is the best at everything. Just ask an American. I can't tell if you're American when you say that.
I don't think that person's American.
Let's see. Your boy Lark says, what if they really fill the place and it's oops, all pops? No crowd.
That'd be losing out on a lot of gate revenue. I'll say that. Do we know what the get-in price is
Oh, yes,
as
John.
of right now?
We're monitoring the get-in price in case anybody here doesn't have a ticket yet. Anybody at Hurricanes wants to jump on Game Time and grab a ticket. We are monitoring the get-in price. And we... What's that? I don't have a ticket.
I got a ticket.
Oh, we giving out one? A lot of people have come up to us and been like, what are you giving us? Which, fair. And the worst answer we could give back to you is a podcast. Nobody wants to get... If they don't know what the podcast is, nobody wants a podcast given to them. But Sean is going to keep us on top of what the get-in price is. We will give you both the get-in price and the trench coat price, which is the price of if you split a ticket with a friend, bought a trench coat, and then went in, a la Little Rascals.
Speaking of
Does this person do you follow this podcast? You don't know what this podcast is, correct? Oh, okay, good. I was going to feel
Light
very bad if
understanding.
you were standing there and you didn't know what any of this was. Oh, respect.
I met them earlier.
Thank you for putting up with us. Anybody who is at Hurricanes and wants to know who we are, just pick up one of these little cards.
Also,
It'll be at your table.
have to mention to everybody here at Hurricanes that these jerseys are not for sale. We are not selling these jerseys.
So many.
People keep asking us if we're selling the jerseys because all the jerseys inside the building at the Pro Shop are sold out. There are 0 jerseys left, which is great for the NHL. It's bad for us because people keep hounding us for these. We know what we got. You're not getting it from us.
Yes, we know what we have. Sean, what's the get-in?
On Game Time currently, it is $706.
Is that all in pricing?
Yes.
That is
Wow.
taking a steep dive since earlier today.
No, I don't think it is.
Oh, update. We have a
I don't have great service in here right now, so it's taking a little while for things to load.
okay.
I saw
$706 to
That's
get
about
in.
half of what it was earlier. It was like $1,400 for get in.
I believe on Monday it was $1,400. Crazy, but now you can get in for just around $700, which that's a trench coat price of, let's round up and say that's $355. If you assuming you already have the trench coat, that is not a bad deal.
Not bad.
It's
Still more than I paid for my ticket, so
yes.
I win.
PK Subban is on ESPN right now. We can see him on the TV. Everyone's mad at him today, huh?
Yeah, what did he say? He said, basically, if you're hurt, stop being a baby. Was he talking about the NBA?
I think people were mad at him mainly because he was excited about Trump tweeting or
Also,
something.
gotta say, PK Subban got fucking cooked on Twitter by Akeem Alou.
I know, man.
That was wild.
I gotta say,
I haven't read a tweet that made me say, God damn, like that one in a long time.
I have. Oh, somebody noted the jersey is on sale for $706,
Okay.
possibly with fees. Once Sean has better service, we will know exactly how much it will.
I guess I could just look it up on the computer that I'm using.
It's like I got bad service in here.
7-6 notes the advantage that Canada has historically in this sport of international hockey. I'll give you a little recent history lesson. Of course, on Saturday, USA beat Canada 3-1. In the 2016 World Cup of Hockey, Canada beat the United States 4-2. 2014 Winter Olympics, they met in the semifinals, and Canada won 1-0. 2010 Winter Olympics, that was the real blast. USA won 5-3, and then in the gold medal game, Sidney Crosby with the golden goal, 3-2 in overtime. Everyone remembers where they were. I was in Indianapolis watching that. And then you go back to 2004, 2-1, Canada over USA. 2002, Winter Olympics, Canada over USA in the gold medal game. 98, Winter Olympics, 4-1, Canada. But 96 World Cup of Hockey. That is what this is getting compared to. The Keith Tkachuk days. That's what this can be, where everybody is watching, everybody's into it, every play could be a penalty. It positively rocks, and the Tkachuks are right at the center of it, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you feel like with the hockey, like hockey being expanded to the outside world, like outside the walls of which we normally live?
Awesome. The more
It's
the merrier.
It's strange. It is like today, Sarah Palin was tweeting at Johnny Lazarus. Like, there's a lot of shit going on.
In fairness to Sarah Palin, she has the bona fides hockey-wise.
True.
That she might tweet at Johnny Lazarus anyway. She might not be done tweeting at Johnny Lazarus.
I bet she follows Johnny Lazarus because he's a Rangers guy and she's clearly a Rangers fan.
I sometimes am not sure if she's a Rangers fan or if she's just a play and call up Matt Rempe person, which
it's a good point.
Back and forth on that.
Also, shout out Johnny Lazarus. He is here or was here a few minutes ago, so shout out Johnny.
Yeah.
With all-in pricing, we're looking at $972.
$972, folks. The price of the jersey has yesterday's price is not today's price.
That's a Pusha T.
Yes, it's a lot of things. Let me tell you. The chat is saying USA.
Hell yeah.
How do you feel about that, Pete? What's your take there?
I agree wholeheartedly. Endorse.
USA fans over there, how confident are you in USA today?
7 out of 10.
A 7 out of 10.
Auston Matthews.
So this makes my point. So we got to not worried, but mostly nobody on either side is doing the full-fledged, oh, we got this. Because this has been so tight, it's going to be so tight again. You bring up Auston Matthews, which is good because he was kind of invisible in the Saturday game against Canada, did not play against Sweden, so you at least give him the pass of he's dealing with something. We thought he was dealing with something before the tournament even began. Where does Auston Matthews fall on your list of guys their respective team would love to get going?
I mean, they definitely love him to get going, but he's been good defensively. A guy that I'm looking at that I absolutely want to get going tonight is Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes has been really quiet, and like he's supposed to be one of the stud playmakers for this team. Hasn't made any noise to this point in the tournament. That's a guy that I want to see make some noise.
Jack Hughes is a good one. You also have Adam Fox, who
also hurt.
Yeah. But Adam Fox, I would say, USA can get by without getting their best Adam Fox, I would say.
Right, like you can get by and you can win and have a good chance at winning if Adam Fox is not noticeable. Like, if he's noticeable in a bad way, obviously you don't want that. But, like, Adam Fox doesn't need to be a primary driver for the United States. I think you have to say that Jack Hughes needs to step up and be a primary driver for the United States.
How about for Canada, Sam Reinhart? He's got 3 assists on the tournament, but really invisible in the USA-Canada game. And I hate to base so many of my stats and takes on the USA-Canada game, but that clearly was the most important game of everybody in that game's life. So I wonder what kind of Sam Reinhart shows up. Obviously a big game player with what he did in Game 7 against the Oilers in the Stanley Cup last year. But there are so many guys that whether it's you need to get them going a little more or they can kind of change their story a little bit, it's a long list. How about Connor McDavid? Does Connor McDavid winning tonight free him of the but he hasn't won yet thing?
No.
I think no.
Definitely not.
That's where I don't go too far with this tournament.
Yeah, exactly. Like that.
It's not a demon. I don't think it's a demon exerciser.
No, definitely not. And I think that the takeaways from this tournament are going to be bigger picture, like Hockey Canada, Team USA. They are not going to be individually based unless you're talking about like a goaltender like Jordan Binnington, specifically in what he means to Hockey Canada and what Hockey Canada needs. But I don't think that Connor McDavid is not going to be freed up by anything. I would say a guy that I'm looking at on Canada for tonight is Mitch Marner, because he's a guy who is haunted by the demons of going quiet in the playoffs and when games matter most. And yeah, he had the big moment in Canada's first game against Sweden, but like, he's a guy who's just constantly taunted with the disappears when the lights are the brightest. If Mitch Marner can have a big game, it could go a long way for him.
Well, here's one of my favorite storylines of the game. In approximately, assuming they don't go too long, it doesn't go into a super duper overtime, I don't know, in 5 hours, whatever, either Mitch Marner or Auston Matthews has won something big.
True. That's true.
So, to quote Jason Tatum, who was saying it completely originally, what they going to say now? We did it.
Who scares you on Canada? Like, who scares you as being the guy that, like, knowing how big the moment is, can plunge a dagger right into your throat?
I mean, I'm biased, but Connor McDavid, even if he was quiet in the Stanley Cup final game 7, in which he played like 26 minutes and only had 2 shots on goal, we saw from that, like, if you have slightly bad coverage or turn too late or do anything, he's going to do something absolutely absurd. And half of his points come when nobody does anything wrong. So even if he hasn't won a cup or done this or done that, in big games like on Saturday, he can turn on the Jets and do some shit that makes you shake your head. So at all times, I am terrified of Connor McDavid, especially when Charlie McAvoy isn't there. And Charlie McAvoy may have been the biggest boogeyman I've ever seen someone be to Connor McDavid.
Forrest in chat says Marchand. If Marchand plunges a dagger at TD Garden to help Canada win, it'll be so difficult to swallow for a lot of people in that building. A guy that is probably a high pick for a lot of people here, Sidney Crosby. We're doing our prize picks board a little bit later. I have Crosby to register a point in this game just because he always shows up, and obviously against USA, like, he's been known to be a boogeyman. So Crosby and Mark Stone are the two guys that really, really scare me, just based off of how fired up and intense Mark Stone is and the way that he can turn the tide on both ends of the ice. He's a guy that I'm looking at as a guy that I'm scared of.
You said that you had Sidney Crosby as a point registerer.
Yes.
In your prize picks. Let's talk about our prize picks cards, because I just filled one out myself, and I also have Sidney Crosby registering a point. What do you have in this game, Peter?
I have Nathan McKinnon more than 3 shots on goal. That guy's a madman. He's going to be peppering the net. Sidney Crosby more than half a point. Connor Hellebuck more than 27 goalie saves, which I hope that he doesn't have a heavy workload. I do think that Canada is going to make it a priority to basically put everything at the net early in this game. I think they're going to have a good amount of shots on net, and I think Connor Hellebuck is going to have a great game. More than 27 saves, and I have an Auston Matthews point tonight. I think Auston Matthews shows up.
We have such similar cards. I have Auston Matthews with the point. I have Sam Reinhart following up his kind of disappearing act on Saturday with 2 shots on goal. I've got Matthew Tkachuk with more than a point, or more than half a point. Matthew Tkachuk has been the face of this tournament. You cannot tell me otherwise. What an absolute stud and ambassador for the game. Jordan Binnington. This was a tough one for me, but I went under 26 saves. Maybe Canada defends well, and it's a low-scoring game, and he just doesn't face that many shots. Or maybe because, earmuffs, Canadian fans, Jordan Binnington fucking sucks. He lets in a bunch of goals. Maybe he does what he did on Saturday night, but without making the good saves he made, because he made a lot of good saves, and he also let in 2 horrible goals. I saw a lot of people saying the Larkin one wasn't bad. Yes, it was.
Jordan Binnington getting pulled in the first period would feed families for years.
Oh.
That's what I'll say.
Would it? Or is that worst case scenario, because that means they have 2 periods to catch up with actual goaltending? Shout out the Buffalo Sabres and their game against Colorado.
That's right. Sean watches too much Buffalo Sabres hockey. He's like, oh, no, it's never won. It's never won. But you know what? Canada can tell you it's never won, because they're up fucking 4-0 with 7 minutes to go on Monday against Finland. So you never know, folks. So I've got...
Declan says, how bad would a Binnington goalie goal hurt Pete? You'll never hear from me again. I promise you.
No, I mean, if Binnington scores, then you've already thrown your hands in the air, and you're already close to drinking yourself to death at that point.
No, you would never hear from me.
You would have, if it gets to the point where Jordan Binnington can score a goalie goal, you're already passed out. Because it's a one-goal game.
Could still be in the game. It's a one-goal game.
But I'm saying you would be passed out and dead from how intense that would be. So I got Auston Matthews with a point, Sam Reinhart more than 2 shots on goal, Matthew Tkachuk with a point, Jordan Binnington with less than 26 saves, and I've got Sidney Crosby with the point. That is my prize picks pick. If you want to see it, you can jump on Twitter, X, whatever stupid fucking shit they're calling it these days. Look at it there. I'm sure that Pete's is out there as well. And if anybody is listening here at Hurricanes, and I see they are, they're laughing along, they're kind of turning away, taking some pictures. Find us online. We like when you subscribe on YouTube. And if you are watching on YouTube right now, make sure you smash that fucking subscribe button. We love it. Somebody says each American player scores a goal. That's their bet.
That would rock. Be the best night of my life.
That'd be like when everybody in the lineup gets a hit.
Yeah. When you're batting around.
Yes.
That Team USA is going to bat around tonight.
Speaking of all these lovely players, Sean, could you put up the teams that we drafted? Because we did a little draft yesterday where we took all the players in this final game, went around, did a snake draft. We made 3 teams. Folks who want to look, let us know which one is the best. We'll use it as a jumping off point to discuss who are the best players in this game. You say Sidney Crosby, and he's a little long in the tooth. He is famously the oldest player in this tournament. Brad Marchand being the second oldest. Shout out Canada, you old. But in a one-game winner-take-all, we've seen what Sidney Crosby can do. Yes, it was 15 years ago, but he's the one that put the nail in Finland's coffin on Monday. Like, he's still, obviously, with the season he had last year, with the season he's having this year, still has it. He is going to be a great, great fit for a team that isn't the Penguins for a very long time. He's still got it.
Yeah, his game against the USA on Saturday was maybe the worst game that he's played in a Team Canada sweater. So I am a little nervous as to how much this might mean to him to come back out and find some redemption. Like, Crosby in a winner-take-all championship game scares the hell out of me.
Somebody in the chat says, Binnington is a Stanley Cup champion. What's Hellebuck won? To which I say, why doesn't USA have Phil Kessel on this team?
Jesus Christ.
Why doesn't any team have Phil Kessel on their team?
Should they have done the...
we used to be a society.
The USA didn't pick him up, so he's eligible for Canada because he played college hockey in Wisconsin, and that's kind of close to it that a lot of players are doing this tournament.
What?
Jump in there. You said any team. I thought you were talking about this tournament.
Oh, no,
I didn't know you were
NHL.
completely changing the subject. Because we were doing a show about 4 nations. Everybody.
Get cooked, Sean.
Yes.
I thought it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Somebody says Binnington is a Stanley Cup champion despite his own shitty goaltending. This is what you get when you let Jordan Binnington in a championship game.
Well,
you got people on edge.
Yeah, and I mean, based off of what we saw in Game 7, and I guess Game 5 and Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Final in 2019, if you are going to put Jordan Binnington to work early, make sure you score on him. Like, get to him early, because if you allow him to get into a groove and feel good about himself in the first period, we've seen it against the Bruins. It's a dangerous place to be. I think that USA needs to get on the board pretty early in this game.
Okay, best players in this game. If you want to go by the numbers, the leader in points among players playing in this tournament, you know who it is? In this final, who has the most in this game? Who has the most points? No.
The answer may surprise you.
It's a USA player. It's
yeah,
Zach Werenski, brother.
Guess. There you go.
You don't win one of the jerseys. You don't win one of the jerseys because we're not giving them away. But if we were, brother, you'd have a crisp New Jersey. We just don't. I know the whole thing is banged out over there. This is what I'm having a conversation with someone who doesn't have a mic, so I hope everybody enjoys that. He's being very nice and he's complimenting the show. Yes, Zach Werenski, with 0 goals and 5 assists, has the most points among players participating in this final. Then you got Jake Gensel with 3 goals, an assist, and 4 points. It was just a little over a year ago. We were not sure just how great a player Jake Gensel was because we hadn't seen him without Sidney Crosby. And that is the dumbest thing we've ever thought because Jake Gensel is an absolute stud. What a legend. He's been so good for the United States. After that, you got Connor McDavid, also with 4 points, 2 and 2. You saw the sensational goal that he scored on, well, I was going to say on Saturday, but after that Hintz turnover on Monday, yes, it was Hintz's fault that he just gave him the puck. Connor McDavid still did some shit for like 10 seconds by himself in the offensive zone before ringing it in off the post.
Yeah, I mean, off the Werenski thing, he's quarterback of PP1. I'm wondering how much power play time you're going to see tonight, and I don't think it's going to be a ton. I feel like the officials are going to swallow their whistles, and we had this discussion last night. There has been no officiating controversy in this tournament. No goaltender interference, no reviews. They didn't even review the offside, potential offside on the empty net goal on Saturday, which we all thought was going to be reviewed. I wonder if the NHL put out a memo to the officials being like, this is a big tournament. A lot of people are going to be watching. Do not review anything unless you absolutely have to.
Oh, you know what it is? I just figured it out. It's the All-Star break for them.
That's right.
So they're just going through the motions, which it turns out is great because the players famously are policing themselves. They're just fighting all the time.
That's right.
There you go. But there's been no, poor Laz, last night at dinner, he was like, hey, have you noticed there's been nothing? Every night we're talking about a controversial call of this or that in this tournament. There's been nothing. And I was like, incredible. Why is that? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, fuck, I thought you had something for me, brother. Like, I was like, that's a really good observation. You didn't
listen.
You didn't take a half hour to get in there?
That's what I want out of my Johnny Lazarus. I don't want a fully cooked idea. I want both things to exist. I want the duality of man. I want the idiot and then also the very thoughtful and very smart hockey person.
I love him so much. Nathan MacKinnon, 3 goals, 0 assists for 3 points. Really, I'll say Nathan MacKinnon I didn't really care for much this tournament until Monday. He scored 56 seconds, thanks to Sidney Crosby, into the tournament, and then didn't do anything until having a great first period.
Well, that's because Canada stinks, baby.
Is that what it is? Something's in the water?
He's been bogged down by his team.
Sir, you in the Boston Bruins jersey and USA hat, who are you rooting for? All
Jeremy
right,
Swayman guy.
We got a US. Oh, Swayman.
The Swayman guy.
All right, very good. He's been on the show. He's a regular guest because 1 is a regular number. He can't, yeah, that's regular. Most people go on podcasts once. Wait, who is? Marshy's regular?
That's right.
All numbers are regular.
We have more recurring guests than one would think.
Probably than we should, but people come back.
That's right.
You have a question. MVP of the tournament, Zach Werenski. Just barely over Hellebuck. That's a great... If people at Hurricanes want to give us topics, unbelievable. Yeah. This young man asks, who is your MVP of the tournament, folks? I do love the storyline we talked about on the show yesterday. USA winning, Connor McDavid not leaving the blue line to go get his watch, hanging back with my guys. I'm a good teammate. Would love to see that. But right now, my MVP, Zach Werenski, especially given the absence of the United States' anticipated number 1 defenseman. He's been the best defenseman in the entire tournament.
Yeah, and kind of a godsend, too, because Adam Fox was not working out as the power play quarterback to start the tournament. It's maybe a cop-out answer, but I feel like the MVP will be decided tonight.
I know, fair. Hellebuck shuts him out. It is named the Connor Hellebuck Award for the rest of time. So easily Connor Hellebuck if he wins.
If Hellebuck has a good game tonight and the USA wins, this will be like the Connor Hellebuck tournament.
Can I give you a dark horse for MVP of this tournament?
Go on.
It's a dark horse. Any guesses? Where do you think I'm going? You think I'm going Brady Tkachuk? Despite only playing... Wait. Oh, yeah, he played in Matthew. Okay, so my dark horse is Matthew Tkachuk.
It's not really a dark horse.
When he hasn't played, yeah.
But he's been one of the 2 most
he has visible 33% of the tournament, and if he has a really good game tonight and USA wins, that's my MVP.
Okay.
Face of the whole, because he's been the face of the tournament.
Yeah.
And it is, I hate to make your point for you and assist you in saying I'm wrong, but the game he missed didn't matter.
Right.
But he still is near the top of the leaderboard in points and in performance when he's played a third of the games as everybody else. Werenski, 5 points in 3 games. Gensel, 4 and 3. Connor McDavid, 4 and 3. McKinnon, 3-3. Matthew Tkachuk, 3-2. Might be my MVP.
I don't hate it. I mean, we're having the discussion about like the Tkachuks being the new TJ Oshie in like the casual fan being able to just identify a player based off of their big moment in a international contest. Like the Tkachuks have their fingerprints all over this tournament. Endearing.
Yes. And I will say on the Tkachuks, because our friend said a good dark horse could be Brady Tkachuk. If he scores 2 goals tonight and he finishes this tournament as the leader in goals, USA wins, Brady Tkachuk's your MVP. So Brady Tkachuk could win, Matthew Tkachuk could win, Connor Hellebuck could win, Connor McDavid could win, Jake Gensel could win.
I feel like if anyone scores 2 goals tonight, they're probably going to win the MVP.
So if Jake Sanderson scores 2 goals, as I have predicted, MVP. Actually, I would say if he did.
I mean, yeah, especially if you get 2 goals from your third D pair.
I'd be like, yo, that was crazy. MVP.
Do we even know if there is a tournament MVP? Like they've been doing. Oh, there is. Okay.
It's voted on by 3 broadcasters from each of the 4 networks that have broadcasting rights.
All right.
So Sportsnet, ESPN, TNT, and TVA, I believe.
Damn. So it's Biz and
Messier.
Gene. Sportsnet. They didn't say Gene's a Sportsnet broadcaster. I want Gene to vote. He would pick like the most Italian person in the tournament. Yeah, man. I'd say that's your group to pick from for potential MVPs.
Yeah,
my vote right now, though, Werenski or Hellebuck. Watch out for both Tkachuks.
What if, God forbid, Jordan Binnington pitches a shutout tonight and has an unbelievable game?
Yeah, and also asshole behavior.
There's no coming back.
Also asshole behavior from me that I only named like 10 Americans and Connor McDavid. It could still be Sidney Crosby.
Very on brand.
If he has a hat trick, yeah, I only care about Americans and Connor McDavid.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just excited for this game tonight, and the atmosphere is going to be fucking insane.
Yes.
I am. We went to the game on Monday night, and it felt kind of dead in there. And,
the Pops didn't play.
That's right, and the air was kind of taken out of it by the fact that the final was already decided. Tonight is going to be an absolute scene.
Yeah, we got a Sharks Erik Karlsson jersey.
That's a choice.
That leaves me with too many questions. That's an American team, Swedish player, who is, I don't know who that person's pulling for. Very interesting. I am liking the chat just throwing their MVP people in there. They're just naming every player in the tournament, which is really exciting. Let's see. Crosby has 5 points. He doesn't need a Hattie to win MVP, says. Does Crosby have 5 points?
Yeah, I think he's tied with
Maybe I overlooked that. What chaos is my MVP, says somebody who's dropping the puck for the opening faceoff. I believe it should be Todd Angeli. Got to let him do something.
I don't know. It's maybe it's like Mike Eruzione. He's been narrating like the entirety of like the tournaments.
Dude, the crowd would lose their mind.
Yeah.
Oh, that would rock.
Actually, you know who it should be? You know who it should be? Charlie McAvoy.
Oh.
Released from the hospital today.
Oh.
Somebody did. Oh, Laz said he was like they should give him
a rally towel.
A rally towel, and I was
for his good arm.
Did he say with his good arm?
Yeah, he said for his good arm.
Okay, because I was gonna say, Laz, read the fucking news for once. Can't do shit with his arm. If he could, he'd be crushing Connor McDavid.
McAvoy being like the quote unquote banner captain, or the guy who drops like the opening puck or whatever ceremonial thing they're gonna do tonight. The crowd would go bananas.
I feel like Team Canada would be like, "What the fuck is this?"
I mean, USA technically the home team tonight.
No, I know, but it's just like a guy that you have in the tournament. Now all of a sudden, he was just literally body checking your best player into the ice a couple days ago, and now you're having to drop the puck. I like it as an American.
Should have been the home team. Get the number 1 seed. Then you can choose whatever banner captain you want.
Forrest in the chat says Keith Tkachuk should drop the opening puck. That would be incredible and so unfair. There's a lot of jerseys I've wished I've had this week. I'm so mad. I do have a Keith Tkachuk jersey, but it's a Coyotes jersey, and it's like a kid's one, and it's very tattered.
Well, I need you to shut up.
I had a USA.
I need you to shut up because you picked a USA jersey. Like, you had your chance, and you still have a USA jersey. I'm so mad that I don't have a USA jersey.
I'm very happy
that
with.
Beer is yours.
Oh, excellent.
I'm very happy with. Who brought did Cole bring that over? Anyway.
Just a waiter just dropped it off.
All right.
It's that, guys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what you. Oh, I mean, Stacey Faye says Guy Gaudreau should drop the puck. That would be incredible. But he's in Vegas. Yeah,
he was skating with the Vegas Golden Knights this morning. I don't know why that was happening. It seems like he would be here, but whatever. Yeah, that would be a great choice.
Canucks got Quinn. Knights were like, let's bring in the big dogs.
Yeah.
An option for Charlie McAvoy, by the way, if he can't lift his arm, is you could get one of those hats with the propeller on top of it, and affix, do a remote-controlled one and affix a rally towel to it, and Charlie McAvoy just walks around, and it's just like gets stuck, and then could be fun.
It could be fun. That's an idea for sure.
Oh, Tessa says no. Charlie McAvoy is the anthem singer.
Nice.
That would be incredible.
They should just have all the best players who were not allowed in this tournament. Because somebody said Pastrnak should do it. Like, they should just get Pasta and
Leon Draisaitl.
And just have them be like...
No, Pastrnak said the other day, he was like, fuck this tournament. I still
he was there.
don't.
He was at the game.
Yeah.
He said, I do not care. I could not care less who wins.
Which, as somebody noted, English is David Pasternak's third language, and he gets could not care less correct. So
I will say if you learn the language as an adult, you probably get it more.
Because you learned the right word.
Yeah, whereas kids, they just hear the turn of phrase over and over again.
Very interesting.
Just a speculation.
Kind of like if you just came to as an adult, you wouldn't be afraid of spiders. Because when you're a kid, you would have never seen adults freak out when they see spiders.
Yeah.
That's the conversation that we're having right now. Isabella says, had to duck out of Hurricanes early, but thanks for a great show, boys. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who's at Hurricanes having a good time. Thanks to everybody who's watching along on YouTube. Make sure you smash subscribe, and also make sure you are back here after the game, because we will be doing a post-game show here for better or worse. It better be for better.
I know. I may not have a voice. I may be buckled. We'll see what happens. I'm very, very nervous for this game.
I'll say don't give me and Sean a sweep, because if we get a sweep and USA wins, Sean famously will be in prison.
Oh, yeah, especially from a suite where I could just rain down insults on any Canadians below me. That would be bad.
Yeah, we haven't had many Canadians stop by and have conversations with it. They've had conversations with us when we're not doing a show, but the people that swing by and yell fun questions at, you leaving? Oh, yeah. We're in the press box, but we might move around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Enjoy, friends. Go USA.
Do we think that Donald Trump will be in the building tonight? I know he said he was not going to. Heard a little birdie say that Secret Service was casing the place yesterday.
Well, famously, Donald Trump has never lied in his life, I am taking his word that he will not be there.
He could always send a representative. I'm not sure what JD's up to or anybody like that.
This is really weird. I want JD in the building. I want not Trump, and I want JD there.
I want RFK there.
Think JD knows puck?
Oh, yo, like RFK, and they just keep showing him like he's Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
That would be such weird energy.
It's going to be weird energy regardless of what.
Yeah. But, I mean, so far, everybody well-behaved. Not seeing any USA-Canada fights. That's a nice USA jersey, though.
It's a great jersey. It's a great hat. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Katie Nolan was in the chat also saying that it's a great
Thank you, Katie. Very much appreciated.
People never seen a fucking USA hat before. Pete's had that hat forever.
Jealous much?
Yes.
People were complimenting your hat in the chat, too.
Yeah, they were. Someone was trying to buy my hat.
You can famously buy that hat on Dishon's website.
Yes, Dishon. I gave them All City's website.
Okay.
Forrest says that he wants Trump there.
Nice.
Should we just yell out who wants Trump here?
Don't do that.
Who wants Trump to come to Hurricanes right now?
That's what the vibe's missing for sure.
Oh, we got a straight MAGA.
Yeah, I feel like not enough people realize that I want RFK there because I don't like the man, and it's hilarious.
Because it's weird.
It's comedy.
Yeah. Oh wait, are people mad that you said you want RFK there?
No, there's people that I think might think that we want them there because we support them.
Everybody watching along on YouTube, make sure you are smashing subscribe.
Sarah
make sure
Palin there.
Sending it to your friends.
I do want Sarah Palin.
She knows puck.
She does know puck. And she will probably, if we can get a picture of Sarah Palin with Johnny Laz.
Oh my God, yes.
I would like to see it.
Have we spoken yet? Yes, we've talked about how people are trying to buy the jerseys, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because can't do it, but I have kind of wondered What could we get? Oh yeah, we talked about being able to get tickets with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I bet there's jerseys inside. That's an old trick my friend Pat, aka Delta Sweet, taught me in Edmonton. You go to the team store, they got no Stu Skinner jerseys. Of course, people wake up in the morning every day, they go right to the team store to buy their Stu Skinner jerseys. Wait till the arena opens up, they got to have some shit in there. Bingo, bango, bongo, I got that white Stu.
They have like those little pop-up like pro shops inside the concourses.
Update. Oh, it's just switched in front of my eyes. For a couple of seconds ago, the get-in price had gotten back over $1,000. It is now down to $994.
$994.
A real deal. Strike while the iron's hot.
What is the most, I've had this conversation with friends before, what is the most you would pay for a single ticket to one event? I'm not talking about a festival. I'm not talking about even a Beanpot thing where you get multiple games.
I think that I would pay like $600 to go to this game tonight. Like, I got my ticket for $240. I feel great about it. Didn't feel great about it when I bought it. I would pay more than double that to get into the building tonight.
To get into the building, $600. I mean,
I don't think I would pay $1,000. I don't know. Maybe I would.
Knowing the value that these things have held and knowing that they were once going for $1,400, you're like, man, it's like making $800 buying this.
Yeah, I mean, I just know and I feel like the energy and the excitement for this game. I don't know when the next time you're going to get it is. Like, you don't want to go. We're not going to be going to Italy for the Olympics. You don't know when the World Cup is going to be. Like, I think that I would pay an exorbitant amount of money to go to this game tonight.
Yeah, it is nice that we're all going and that we don't have to pay an exorbitant amount of money.
Or travel.
Or travel. Man, what's it going to be like going back to hockey, like NHL hockey, like just hockey in
awful
tomorrow?
It's going to be no.
Tomorrow we have
Saturday.
interviews with like tomorrow it gets back to normal. We interview NHL players about the NHL, and we watch hockey games on Saturday.
Such a hard life.
Sean, you watch the Buffalo Sabres. You've been watching USA. You've been riding that wave. Starting Saturday, you watch the Buffalo Sabres.
We'll see. Maybe I just won't. I just won't.
People are asking me what I'm drinking. I don't know because
it looks like beer.
Yeah, it is a beer. I don't know. It was just dropped off at this table.
Oh, I figured you ordered it.
No. Tastes like a cold snap.
Okay.
Might be a cold snap.
Pete, is that an IPA, somebody asks?
No, it is not.
Midnight Mike Show says Jack Hughes needs to come through tonight. That's Pete's guy. That's who he's circling.
I think Jack Hughes. I think it's more likely that Auston Matthews has his pop tonight, but Jack Hughes showing up would be very, very beneficial to USA, and I think he needs it. He's at a quiet tournament.
All right, we got just 7 minutes left here on this chat, on this show. So everybody who is here in the chat, make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing, make sure you're watching our speed run that we did, recapping everything that has happened in Four Nations Face-Off to this point, because it really has been a long and strange journey. Man, you think of it all with Vegas, finding out about that, being like, All-Star Game, found out about it last year.
Yeah. Yep.
Talked to Rasmus Dahlin about it. He was excited, but he was like, I feel like some people aren't going to be too happy because they don't get to play. And now here we are, after so many conversations about jerseys and unveilings, and it's me, you guessed it, it's Connor McDavid, to now, this feels like the fucking Super Bowl. It's so crazy that it's been on our minds and it's been a talking point, but in a way where we've been like, it'll be our thing, but it's not going to be the world's thing. This is the fucking world's thing.
Yeah, that's so. Not in my wildest dreams did I ever think that this tournament would get to this place. And did I think that USA Canada would have a ton of pop on Saturday? Absolutely. I had it circled on my calendar from like the minute that they announced this tournament. But I did not. That's the best way to put it. I did not anticipate it becoming like a worldwide sports thing and not just our hockey thing. It's very, very rare that hockey penetrates the walls of just hockey fandom and gets into general sports fandom. And the level of excitement that people outside of like the hockey world feel about this event and this game tonight and the game on Saturday, like way beyond my wildest dreams, especially considering that this tournament doesn't mean shit. This is a one-off tournament that people are like It has no legacy factor. It has no prestige factor. It is such a small sample size. It's 4 countries. It means nothing. But yet, so many people fucking care about it, and it's only a testament to the players who have committed to it and put on a show Saturday night.
I'll correct you on the legacy thing with 2 players, because I agree, and we talked about how this tournament is not a demon exerciser. If you haven't won the big one and you win tonight, well, then people will say, well, you win when you're on an all-star team playing in an all-star tournament. There's 2 players whose legacies this could affect. Sidney Crosby and Matthew Tkachuk.
But it only
it
only matters to Sidney Crosby because it would just be added to a long list of already existing accomplishments.
Correct. And in the case of Matthew Tkachuk, it furthers his ascent from great hockey player to a face of the NHL.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fair. It's part of a bigger discussion. Like it's part of a bigger narrative is what I'm saying.
Heroes, but can't heroes be born the way that they were? I mean, we all knew who TJ Oshie was at the Olympics, but he became a household name because he did some fucking rinky-dink stupid thing.
Sure, it wasn't stupid.
He was
great.
Cool.
Yeah.
I remember at the time I was like, this is kind of lame. But can anybody at least do that? Can a star be born from everybody in the NHL knows him, but now he's like a hero?
Yeah, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that nothing is possible to like take from tonight and take from. All I'm saying is that like the 4 nations face-off as an event holds no weight because it's only going to be a one-off. Like it's probably never going to happen again. Nobody's going to know the name of the trophy. That you throw all that stuff out, but like it matters in the sense that like this is setting the table for international hockey in this era. And you're going to get a whole lot of it because they're starting next year. You're getting a best-on-best tournament every 2 years. Like, and this is just a renewal of the rivalry for USA and Canada. So it matters and like it holds meaning, but the event itself is meaningless.
Sean, I just thought of something very sinister.
Okay.
How do we feel about spinning a wheel with the 3 of our names on it, and whoever it lands on has to yell, like, make some noise if you're rooting for Team USA to see if they do anything?
No.
You would die if you had to do that.
I would die.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
I'm not.
Neither of you are willing to do that.
No.
I don't think
this is a very good vibe. We've had a very good show. I do not want to end with me feeling like I am the worst person in the bar.
It would be so fucking funny. It would be so fucking funny. Oh, God. Okay, well, we've had an incredible time, and everybody in the chat has been lovely. Everybody here at Hurricanes has been incredible. Bauer has been so good to us. You want final scores?
No, I want to shout out Hunter in the chat. He says, bad take about TJ Oshie shootout being uncool.
I mean,
you're an asshole.
No, Katie Nolan said lame ? Exclamation
You're
point?
an asshole.
No, at the time, and not to be a dick, NHL players agreed with me.
They're assholes too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're jealous they weren't there.
If you're poo-pooing on what happened.
No, I was watching it and I was rooting for him. I wasn't saying like this is lame. I thought the structure of it was silly. I'm not walking about what.
I mean,
you want me to what? You want me to disagree with you more? I'm telling you how I feel.
They're just saying you're wrong.
I agree that
universally beloved
tournament shouldn't be ended on shootouts.
Agree with that part.
So that part's lame.
But when you get the coolest shootout that's like ever happened,
yeah. Once you get to the point it's a shootout and you have TJ Oshie becoming an American hero.
Not the coolest shootout that's ever happened.
That rocked.
Not the coolest shootout that's ever happened.
That was probably the coolest shootout that's ever happened.
Coolest shootout that's ever happened in a movie. And the second coolest shootout that ever happened was Brad Marchand missing the puck. Third coolest shootout that's ever happened is Zdeno Chara ripping a slap shot. I can go on and on and on. There's 100
none of those
cooler
things
shootouts.
are actually cooler than what TJ Oshie did.
Yeah, no.
Especially in the context.
So it was just cool that it was his turn a lot.
It was cool that it was his turn a lot on the biggest stage, and he kept scoring.
Yes.
He kept doing it and won.
It wasn't terrible.
Against one of the greatest shooters like the league had seen. Yeah.
It wasn't terrible. I'm not saying it was terrible.
Kind of saying it was terrible.
Kind of saying it's terrible.
I didn't say terrible.
Lame,
terrible, stupid. Yeah. Hey, it's my feelings.
You're entitled to your incorrect opinion.
Yep.
Yes. Some Krusty Ham says, play Freebird a lot.
That's right.
Lucas says that movies are fake. You have not seen a documentary before then. Katie is now saying, yeah, agree with DJ. Thank you, Katie. And thank you, everybody. Okay, that's going to do it. We will be back after.
Oh, did Katie say that?
Yeah.
Are we making? I think we might be making.
Katie said, "When you're right, you're right."
Katie never said those things. Katie
yes, she did. She says, "When you're right, you're right." I'm looking at it on my iPad, Sean.
Katie Nolan?
We have different iPads.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm seeing Katie Nolan say, ha, 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 ha.
The walk
The
back.
walk back.
Update your
We
software.
love you, DJ. I am the software.
You are. All right. Thank you, everybody. At Hurricanes, thank you, everybody watching on the stream. Make sure you are subscribed. We'll be back after the game. Go USA or go whoever you're rooting for. Just have a good time.
No, just go USA.
USA.
Okay.
We all silly like the mayor.